This is the grid that the Bombers call home.
You're throwing the tee in the ground. If your hand's not shaking, there's something wrong.
I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. I'm in my element. Flow is like water. I'm forced to the fire. I'm feeling like gold. Gotta stay grounded, stay down to earth. Following God and you grinding, you do as you told. I don't work to make you like me, but I'm front and center. Word to Spike Lee. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm in my element. Yeah. I'm in my element. Ooh, yeah. I'm in my element.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live in West Bountiful, Utah. Group number 2, featuring Kyle Berkshire, 2-time world champ. Kyle is back in Utah, and he is a man on a mission. He is locked in. Took off Connecticut, rehabbing that rib and oblique. And unfortunately, last year, Kyle and I were out playing golf at Promontory and hits a wedge from 60 yards.
Yeah.
Broke his hand. Ended up breaking his hand on a wedge.
That's how he did it.
The hook of the hamate. And he ended up competing 2 days later with a broken hand.
Oh, my goodness.
Missed the final 8 by like a couple yards. But right now, we're going to key in on Kyle Berkshire.
There he is.
World number 1 for 4 straight years. Ended up losing it. Martin Borgmeyer earned it. Ended up, now Martin is world number 1, Kyle is world number 2, but with a win, Kyle will be right back in the saddle at world number 1. And I said he took some time off to rehab that rib. But what I really like seeing from Kyle is, like, you're going to see him, he's got more of a turn, and he's getting his hands to set. He's a little bit deeper.
Yeah, look at that.
So right now, 159.
That was a great shot right there. He's watching it. I love when he watches it because you know it's going to be good. 409 carry.
225.6 as expected. If that one's in play, this one is going to be an absolute bomb.
I love Andrew Wright jumping over there because that's how you get that adrenaline going and settled.
I can't wait to see this number that Kyle just put up.
He's like waiting for it because he knows it's good.
That was a bomb. I mean, it was right down the middle.
Right down the center. And at that hot spot that we were talking about that has a really great kick. Matt Stubs.
Stubs has been flying all over the place. He was in Osaka, Japan, and then he was in Australia.
429.
Yep. So Kyle at 429. Mr. Borgmeyer, longest drive of last set. They had a nice right to left wind. Martin got in slot number 4 and was just hitting these nice tight draws and ended up going 446. That was a really fun group to watch last.
If you're tuning in and you're just now tuning in for this, make sure you go back and watch that last set because that was electrifying to say the least. Matt Stubs, we were just talking about as we were waiting for this group to come up, the difference between Nutella and Vegemite. Have you had Vegemite?
No.
Oh, man. The first time I was in Australia playing the Aussie Tour, and my house guests, my house family gave me a spoonful and said, hey, this is Nutella. You want some? I was like, of course. Spoonful of Nutella any day. Yeah. Vegemite.
No good.
No good. So salty. But Kyle Berkshire, building.
431, 429, 413. I mean, I'm excited to watch Kyle hit right now. And, it still was a game time decision, even though he was here, whether he was going to hit or not. And he's got a doctor with him right now that he's been working with in Raleigh for the last 4 or 5 weeks. And, it just, for me, it's about these players' health. And, he feels great, and obviously when you look at Kyle's numbers, I mean,
looks good,
to be expected, as good as advertised, and honestly, I know that he kind of wants to keep that world number 1 forever, but I think that this gives him more motivation now to get it back, and Kyle's off to a good start with a 431-yard rocket to start off the tournament here today.
It's so much fun right now. We've had such a great season, and we've been building all season, but now the top 4 is super tight. We've got Kyle that's got a chip on his shoulder and ready to go back. We're seeing some energy that hasn't been here in a minute, and right before we go to TV rounds. So TV's going to be phenomenal.
And knowing Kyle, like, we're sitting in here in the booth, and he's got that Michael Jordan mentality. It's like he's going to take anything and use it as like
without
fuel.
a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah, but
they gave him the wrong coffee this morning. Fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we got Bryce. Bryce is coming up here soon as well. Bryce, jumped up 4 spots from the last event.
He did. He's had an excellent season so far.
One out in Canada.
Yeah, what a story there.
They said the story right now. Look at this guy, slot number 1, Ryan Reevesback.
That is
making his senior debut here tomorrow.
the guy to watch for the entire event. His whole family out here helping.
Cooked a 5-star breakfast for a 5-course meal for his kids this morning at 3:30. He
As
mowed
well as
the
Colton
lawn.
Casta.
Absolutely. Took all the snow off the mountains and, set up all the electrical. But, Ryan's got about 55 hats that he has, and that Callaway hat being one of them. But he's got his entire family out here. This is his grid. It's like this is Ryan's grid. Look at this start here. A little 209 action for Mr. Reevesback.
One of the nicest guys you'll meet. So great to have a conversation. We had so much fun in the booth whenever you were out being the superstar that you are. Bobby also trying to be everything everywhere.
Yeah, we were having fun. Yeah, yesterday, Ryan's ball calling, but got to hit on this grid. I love this grid. So you got Paul Q in here. And Lucas Weichel, Lucas ended up qualifying yesterday. He got in. Yeah, he looked great. We got to match up a couple times yesterday.
He looks really good. He's in the slot right by us right now. And we talked about Scott Littlefield earlier today. He's had a great run last event and has been building this whole season.
He's just tough, man. Littlefield hits so many balls in play, and he always hits a good ball every single set. And he's a guy he's not going to beat himself.
Woo! He likes that one.
211 from Scott Littlefield, which I said if we're going to compare guys very similar to like a Brandon Flynn, and he's made top 8s, 2 top 8s this year, and there's a reason why. He puts a lot of balls in play. He sets around 210, 212 on his best shots, and it doesn't carry his on the tee box with him at the end.
We talked about the incentives earlier. They switch over and restart now for this group as well.
Yep.
So we'll see who'll be the longest ball of this group, the most balls in play. And what's the third one?
You got longest drive, most balls in play, and longest set.
Longest set.
So last year, Ryan Gregnall was close to beating Joe Miller's all-time set. And Gregnall, we always joke around. He hit 2 balls out of 30 in play, but the 2 balls that he hit were in different sets, and he ended up getting in with 400 points. The next set in the second round robin goes 6 for 6, and all of his balls went 400 yards.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. And I think the only 3 guys that have done it, Joe Miller, Ryan Reevesback, and Ryan Gregnall.
Look at Reevesback at 403, hitting his last ball here. He put everything into that one. It was cool to see Ryan Gregnall on the range today. He's got the sweatband and another Ken out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Reevesback, this is his grid. 4 out of 6 in play. In the lead at 403, still waiting on Paul Kewen's last ball and Scott Littlefield.
Welcome home, Reevesback.
Yep. It is a home game for him. So it looks like Lucas Weichel is locked in at 390.
All right, well, we're going to break, and we're going to have the professional amateur in here right after this.
Introducing World Long Drive International memberships. World Long Drive welcomes all of their international affiliates as part of the World Long Drive family. With an international membership, our worldwide competitors now have the ability to compete in internationally sanctioned World Long Drive events, the ability to earn world ranking points, plus all of the great community membership benefits. Sign up for an international membership today at worldlongdrive.com. All pro memberships include the ability to compete in international World Long Drive sanctioned events. Learn more at worldlongdrive.com.
All right. We got the professional amateur in the booth. What happens if you win the pro event? What happens? So you're not going to take the money?
I guess not. I think that's already predetermined. I don't think I can.
How can you not do it? How can you not take the money?
Can you not declare at that
You
moment?
should
I
declare.
don't think you can.
Oh, no. Well,
Remember Dominic Mazza?
Well, I said that we talked about that earlier. It's Dominic Mazza.
Okay.
I said call him Joe Mazza because the guy that went to my high school, his name was Joe Mazza. But, if he wasn't going to play college golf, he could have just taken $75K and had a day,
Yeah.
Played professional baseball as well. But, $10,000 at the end of the day isn't, going to, break your piggy bank or, whatever. Not going to buy a house with it or anything.
No.
It'd be a down payment.
Maybe a car.
If that were to happen and, I were to win, I could take it, I probably would. But, enjoying the field, and today was really fun.
Yeah, tell me about the win yesterday. You've won several. 3?
Now 3, yeah.
Now 3. How does it feel to take on those and then also come out here and you put up some big numbers today? in the open division. What's that been like? What's that feel?
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I mean, going into this year, I was, maybe, short of 200 ball speed, but done a lot of work with Dylan Fay, Sweet Heat Golf, and now we're pushing 210, 215, and hitting balls in play. So yesterday got a little nervous in the finals and was 0 for 5 and clutched it up.
Last balled it.
You figured it out, a little 383 action.
Exactly.
But you still hit, even though you went 0 for 5. Like I looked at your numbers, you're 11 for 24. So going into that last set, you were 10 for 18, better than 50%. You're putting a lot of balls in play. But all right, so you're going to get ready for obviously tomorrow, but the World Championships for the amateur division. Are you going to declare professional after the amateur division?
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, you heard it here first, folks.
You did. So gonna declare that, and then be in Oceanside and then Atlanta. So.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're talking about odds. Like, I don't know if we're going to be able to. I'm looking at Elon. Are we going to be able to gamble on the amateur division? No. Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
We're still working out.
There's
those
always
kinks.
the unknown.
Yeah.
Like Cody Billinghurst, being an amateur last year, and I'm like looking at his ball speeds like 218. I'm like, how's this guy an amateur? He ended up winning out in Hope Sound. I'm like, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah.
But
so far, you've had an excellent career. What stands out the most?
Gosh, I'd have to say so far it's Mesquite making the final 16, the Open Division Tour event, and obviously my plans to do that again and hopefully even better here in Utah. I'm hitting it.
That's better than any
great.
amateur win.
I think so, just because I'd never really proven myself at that level, so it kind of really showed me that I'm starting to belong. And the amateur wins are great, and it's a really hard field. Jack Abbott, Jay Heath. A lot of guys that I'm going to forget on the spot here, but I'm very proud of those. But
really strong field. We just have Shawn Johnson at 403. We're seeing a lot of 400s. You yourself hitting some 400s. Can you describe what it's like being on the tee today?
Yeah,
what's the sight line? What's doing?
There's a big kind of V on the mountain that's colored that's on the left side, and so as a lefty who likes to hit a draw, I was aiming down that, like looking at the mountain, aiming at that, and then just trying to rip it, hit a baby draw. But the wind started moving right to left at the end, so I kind of.
That was impressive. The 424. I'm like, man, he just hit a 424 bomb into essentially a crosswind for you.
Yeah.
Borgmeyer ended up riding the wind going 446, but yeah, that 424 was a bomb. Considering like Bobby Ray hit it 213.8. Granted, he didn't hit it very high, but Bobby hammered it and went 419.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's impressive. And we talked about you. Said to compare you to a 2020 U.S. Open champion in Bryson, but I feel like you guys, like now with your ball speed and your ability to hit a lot of balls in play, landing angles, what have you. You just got to get to the final 16 to have a chance to, to win a tournament. So, I mean, you're giving yourself a chance to win the amateur division and an open division.
Every single
title.
time.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
So yeah, I would have loved to see the ball speed on some of those, but it's not all ball speed. It's you got to hit the right shot at the right time. And
it was 240.7, so it was just 1.1 below Seb Twiddell.
All right, well tell him I'm coming for him. Awesome.
We were talking about how in London. And we used to have this even back in like 2019, 2018 as a walkout song. What would be your walkout song?
Oh, gosh. I'd have to go with Back in Black by AC/DC.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
All right. These are, you got four studs in the tee box, but Matt Nicole's back. Matt Nicole, one of the best hitters on the planet for a long time. A guy that's similar to a Brandon Flynn that's going to just hit a ton of balls in play.
Yeah.
Ended up breaking his arm last year. Right before the World Championships.
Yep.
So Matt Nicole looked really good here. I think he got his exemption in Utah last year. So Bryce were playing 402, Jack Smith, rookie, him and Seb Twiddell. And really, 'cause Jack has been hurt, it's a toss-up between him and Seb Twiddell as far as like rookie of the year. Granted, we don't have we have a little taste of Jack Smith, but 2 events and he's made final 16s and final 8s.
It looks really strong. That final 8 was really close as well. Louisiana boy, so obviously he's got a close place in my heart. Somehow our parents know each other, so small world there. But Bryce Verplank, 402, 405, putting up excellent numbers as always. He's got one of the best stories this year in Portland. Was that Portland?
No, it was
Port Rowan. Port Rowan.
Yep.
Where he was out, then got back in and swept the field, winds up taking the taking the win home.
Yeah, Bryce wearing the same shirt as Sam Judah, but his shirt is not as tight as Sam's, and his shorts are a little bit longer.
You know, you've also brought a lot of other players into this sport, and you've been a really great advocate for the sport. What's it like whenever you're finding these players? You've brought on our current world #1, Monica.
Yeah.
Who else have you kind of led into this sport or helped and supported?
That's a good question. I mean, I can't think of anyone else who I've necessarily led into the sport, but you know, it's really just a great community of people here, and so we all build each other up. And Monica is really cool. Met her at a charity golf event, and you know, I saw her swing it, and told her she has to do this.
You're going to be world #1, but Jack Smith, look at that,
Amazing.
437.
He's tough. He's really good.
The only ball that he hit in play.
You only need one, and that one was a big one. That one was a big one. Verplank still don't have a number from Verplank on his last 3 golf balls, but he is in worst case scenario in 2nd place. But Jack Smith at 437. Oof. Gambling. All right, so here, you can pick. No, you're not gonna. Seb's not gonna fight you, but if you had to pick right now in a heads-up match, Jack Smith versus Seb Twiddell, who are you taking?
That's a tough one. I watching Jack on the range. He's just smashing the ball, well flighted, and he does also have the speed.
Yep.
I haven't seen Seb hit it today, but just based on how Jack hits, or how I've seen him hit it, I'm gonna go with Jack.
Yeah,
wow, it's a big one.
I mean, Jack went 228.5 last event out in Connecticut.
It's nuts.
Kid's a stud. I mean, he's got a similar body. I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God.
Justin James.
No, well, yeah, Justin James. No, I feel awful. It's a one live moment I have, and I'm forgetting the name. Trent Scruggs.
Yeah,
Trent. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Like Trent,
That
man,
is a great.
that's my guy too. And
That's
I
a
just
great one.
drew a complete blank. But yeah, Trent
It
Scruggs.
came back. It came back.
It came back. But like, he reminds me a lot of Trent Scruggs, but he's like ultra fast. I think Trent turns 18 in a couple weeks. We always joke around about Trent being 17 for the last like 12 years.
That Scruggs kid.
So, that Scruggs kid. You know, but yeah, Jack Smith reminds me a lot of Trent. And but
Seb,
yeah.
You know, Seb didn't have his best event last time. He still was able to advance. And that's what we say, when you're quick, you always have that opportunity. But it's a toss-up between the two.
Yeah, because I mean, you're looking at completely different body types.
Yeah.
Talking
Seb's
about
like
a
14
gymnast
foot
and
tall.
a NBA player.
Yeah, the libero versus the center, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, Jack Smith gives us shorter guys some hope.
Absolutely. Well, you talk about, like, you know, Jason Zuback to go. You know, Jay-Z's not 6 foot, you know, and you know, he's got 5 world championships in the open division,
There
one
you go.
in the senior division. And you look at guys like Sadlowski, that's, you know, 5'11", 6 foot, 165, 170 pounds, winning world championships too.
And that's when his clothes are wet.
Yeah. Well, we always joke around. We say it all the time. Like that, I saw that Sladowski kid or Sladlanovich guy. He's 4'9", 117 pounds, soaking wet, hit a 9-iron through a light pole about 900 yards. You know. So, but yeah, Jamie always got smaller and smaller as the years went on.
That's so
and that'd
funny.
be a guy like I'd love to see Jamie come out, because I
Same.
know if he trained for a little bit, he'd be at 215 ball speed
Without a doubt.
easily.
It'd be cool to have like just an event with legends.
Yep.
You know, just like have them all come out, have a round robin match play so we can all see them.
Yep.
Doesn't mean anything, just for fun. Obviously, they're competitive, so someone's
Totally.
going to have to take a win.
And I feel like Jamie retired before even his prime. I mean, it's like Kyle
without a
Berkshire
doubt.
retiring right now. I mean,
Yeah.
Jamie had 8 or 9 years, because we came in the same year in the open division in 2007. His last year was 2015, and Jamie literally shut it down like in the prime of his career. So it'd be amazing to see him come back. Like, that'd be a lot of fun.
Especially with the different type of equipment and things of that sort. What's your equipment setup?
Yeah, great question. So I'm going with the TPT shaft. Kind of new for this event. I tried the 20 high, so that's, to anyone who's not familiar with those shafts, maybe a senior flex equivalent.
Yep.
And then 4-degree crank firehead. Those crank ones are
Okay.
great.
Yeah,
You see
they
Bryce
yeah.
aiming 'em?
Yeah, good
So-
week for Bryson.
Really great week.
Reevesback 425, no
Wow.
walk 391, Matt Stubs 380, who's literally flown around the world in the last like 72 hours.
That 425 was dead straight. It was a beautiful shot that he had there. Carried almost 400.
Wow.
But right now, we don't have an update yet
I think.
And so do you prefer what club did you hit beforehand? You said you have a new setup.
Yeah.
What were you hitting before?
It was a flex stiffer, so
Okay.
not a huge change.
So you're
but
playing a little bit with softer.
little softer stuff, kind of lowered the head loft to 3 degrees, so,
3 degrees?
3 degrees, yeah.
Some putters are set at like 2 degrees.
I know, yeah. So just trying to keep the spin low. Sometimes the extra whip can add to that, so it worked out today, I guess. So.
Yeah, yesterday was the first time I tried the 21 high. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun shaft to hit. The good thing was I've been hitting the D10 for so long that it wasn't that much of an adjustment, but it was amazing like how much lighter it was.
Yeah.
Thing kicked hard, man.
Well,
kicked
you
hard.
get a lot out of that one, so.
Yeah. For me, it worked yesterday, but it didn't work good enough because I didn't get the exemption in the worlds. But Reevesback at 425. Matt Thorman just put on a clinic, put a lot of balls in play. And Sid, even then, Matt Thorman's
Look
last
at
set,
that.
he ended up taking 4th place at 393.
Oh
and he
my
just hits a ton
goodness.
of balls in play. So, like, sometimes the cookie crumbles around. Yeah.
Consistent.
But, like, he's going to, I say he doesn't make it to the round of 32. He's going to make some money
He's
today.
going to get an incentive.
Yep.
We were talking about the incentives, how that just adds an extra layer. What are your thoughts on having some other opportunities out there?
Well, I love the incentives. I'm a little upset with Martin for taking the longest ball away from me, but no.
At the last moment.
Yeah, at the last moment. But I think that's really cool. It gives, even if someone's not, if they hit themselves out of the competition, there's still incentive for them to do the best they can and have something to look forward to. So I think it's really good. Yeah.
What happens if you win $2,000 in incentives?
Oh.
I don't know the rules on that. What do you think?
You're a pro. You're a pro. You lost your amateur. You're not allowed to compete at the World Championships this year.
Well, we can't have that.
Just give me the money. Give me the money.
Thanks, Martin.
Yeah.
No.
You could take a couple of college classes and call it an NIL deal,
There you go.
There we go.
Now you can make as much as you want.
There you go.
Exactly.
As an
That's
amateur.
funny.
Yeah.
But once
Finding
again,
the
we got
loophole.
Andrew Eigner. He's got 3 wins this year, world #1 in the amateur division, as we give him the nickname the professional amateur. Hitting the ball well. As I said, you get to the round of 16. Looking forward to these heads-up matches. I mean, is there someone that you don't want to face? Or do you just like whatever?
I think mentally no. Like I go into it just focus on hitting my best ball and see what happens. But there are people who definitely would make the route a lot harder, and there's a lot of them here. So.
Well, speaking of guys that have done really well in heads-up matches, is Scott Littlefeld. I mean, Littlefield's done really well the 2 times he's had opportunities to make the final 16 in these heads-up matches. I guess the question would be to you, in the amateur division, I would probably know your answer. Would you rather do a round-robin format in the round of 16 or heads-up matches?
I mean, in the round of 16, I'd say round robin. It takes the uncertainty out of it, or it reduces it at least, because I could have a bad set and still advance. But I feel like I'm pretty focused in the matches. I'm not worried about my competitor. I'm in a good mindset to do well whoever I'm facing. So I like them both.
So in the amateur division, you'd rather have a round robin in the round of 16 and then heads-up matches in the open division.
I think so, yeah. Just based on speed. So
there you go. I like it.
You know what's really throwing me off? First of all, Shawn Johnson,
444.
4. I don't know what that means. I feel like that's supposed to be something really significant. But
it's half of 888.
He did that. It is.
Well.
He did that with a cap, not a visor.
What's
What is
going on here?
Oh no.
Oh my gosh! I just saw
Game
this.
changer.
He takes one tournament off, in Connecticut, and here he is with a hat
With
on.
a hat. Who
what
does
are
he
you
think he
doing?
is?
What is he doing going 440? But
Look at
Shawn
that.
Johnson, similar with Scotty Perriman. They're getting better as the year goes on. They got off a little bit of a slow start, but Perriman and Shawn Johnson putting themselves in opportunities to win, and we're going to see Costello here a little bit later as well. Costello, a couple balls away from getting his first win.
Yep.
So Shawn Johnson's not far off, nor is Scotty Perriman. Scotty's got wins over the last several years, but Shawn Johnson with a 444-yard rocket.
And Matt Nicole, doing what Matt Nicole does.
Yep.
421 right there.
Matt's a stud.
Shawn's
European.
just throwing me off so much. I'm like, what is going on with this hat? I like it. Just different.
He's got the big league flow coming out the back.
Yeah.
Got the trucker hat on. Former
said
University of Mississippi
New
pitcher.
persona.
Let's take a peek. 2022 PLDA Rookie of the Year, 2 semifinal appearances this season from Memphis and Mesquite Volume 2. Standing at 6'7". Has to be one of the tallest guys on tour, Mike Dobbin, 6'9". Got to see Mikey yesterday. Him and I were like, we were joking, like, we got 34 combined World Championship appearances. It would be nice to have 36. We just
This
came up
last
a
one-
little short.
This last one by Shawn might be big, but we're going to go to break here. Andrew, thanks so much for being in the booth. Congratulations. You've had a fantastic year, and we'll see you out there tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Great to be on here, and excited to keep it going.
Let's go.
All right, thank you.
Introducing the new Bridgestone E9 Long Drive. Co-designed by world long drive athletes to push the limits of distance. Thanks to extreme ball speed and superior aerodynamic flight. Engineered for you to hit your longest drive. Drive the new E9 Long Drive. Extreme distance for your game.
Bridgestone, we've talked about it several times, how not only they came up with the best ball for long drive, but included the players in on this of how to have the best ball for long drive, and as you've said many times, the straightest ball you've ever hit.
Yeah, you have to make adjustments to any golf ball that you hit, and at the end of the day, for me, doing all these, you do corporate charity exhibitions and even competing, like even as the OEM. These harder golf ball, compression golf balls, you're destroying your clubs. Really, at the end of the day, it's an expensive sport, and for this, you're not seeing these heads migrate as much as they would with, a ball that might be 115 compression. So it flies straight. We have a 475-yard grid here long, and be curious to see if this golf ball can go 479 yards. We know Bryce Verplank went 489 in Denver. And the farthest ball so far of the day is from Martin Borgmeyer at 446 yards. Shawn Johnson went 444. And we have Mr. Berkshire coming up here in a little bit. And if the wind stays the way it is right now, really interested to see Kyle's numbers in slot number 4.
Yeah.
And that's where it's in Borgmeyer went 446 in slot 4, but Shawn Johnson just went 444 in slot 2. Great grid. Really
Great
is.
grid. Two people to kind of key in. Obviously, Landon Gentry's been out here, had a great event last time as well. But Bryce Verplank, I think he's one that can definitely put up a 420, if not long.
Oh yeah,
if not further.
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Bryce is just putting a lot of balls in play right now, putting up some nice ball speed at 217. He's a guy that you'll see like in crunch time, in the low 220s, and right now 217 ball. He stays extremely consistent, throughout the entire tournament. But he does have that. He does have an extra gear, where he can go, in the low, 220s, if not like 225. But right now, Verplank looking good. He took a second place in the first set, but Shawn Johnson with 2 wins and Ryan Reevesback has a S next to his name. What does that S mean?
Senior.
I know.
Super. No, I was just kidding. That is so funny that
took
they
him
put the S
45
there.
years to finally compete in the senior division, and you're going to see him tomorrow.
I'm excited for it.
It's funny. It's like he's going to be so sore.
He's already been Theragunning.
Yeah, I know.
Make sure you get him some compression shorts.
Talk about the senior division. This is what I really like, that the World Championships for the senior division is going to be in Oceanside and giving these guys time to rest. Gavin, Shook. I don't know if Shook's going to compete in the open division. Eddie Fernandez. But it'll be nice to have these guys not hitting at the World Championship at the same time in the senior and open division. So
which has been a thing that they've had to do in the past years. Yeah,
no, it's insane. I mean, the guys are, 55 years old, 52, 53, with, Eddie's 52. Gavin's 54. Tom Peppered yesterday, 55 years old. These guys need rest, The good thing is that the equipment now isn't as heavy as it used to be, but still, that's a lot of swings on the body.
Man. I don't think people understand. I wonder, I'm pretty sure Kyle has this number and this data of how many calories you burn at a long drive event, because I can remember.
I looked yesterday.
Yeah, I can remember being toast after first day, especially at Worlds. We hit the most at Worlds for the ladies, but it is.
So yesterday I burned, 1,194 calories.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday, just max heart rate was 151, which is actually good. When you talk about my average heart rate throughout the entire tournament was 118.
Oh, that's really good.
Which was good. I was always a hitter that never got too high or got too low. I just kind of just stayed within myself. But you'll talk about guys like Kyle Berkshire. Berkshire in speed sessions, he wants to be in and around 185, 190 heartbeats per minute. So I can say right now, I'd be curious to see what Kyle's heart rate's at.
Yeah.
You know, and but it's crazy to see. Like, you know,
over 1,000
that's one of the
calories.
reasons why we wear, you know, these devices. But yeah, burn 1,200 calories in about 3 hours.
If you want a good workout, you come out here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun workout.
And then
well.
on top of that, you've got the heat that plays in. These guys have to stay hydrated the whole entire time. But we're keying in right now on Kyle.
Mr. Berkshire, slot number 2. I mean, he looks great. Look at they just stick in the finish. Obi, right? But look at the ball speed number, 1,600 spin like that. 190 feet in the air, 224.6. As expected, though, we knew Kyle was going to be fast out of the gates. But Jack Smith, with just an absolute rocket, he hit one ball in play, but he ended up going 437 in his first set to get a win.
You know, in anything, how you set up to a ball and the consistency of that makes a big difference. And I look at Jack's setup time and time again. He's pretty consistent in his pre-shot routine.
Yeah, love this ball flight. Love the launch from Kyle. 14, 403, 11 launch, 2,500 spin. I mean, that's a good ball right there. Let's see if this one stays in play. It's 408. It's a number. Didn't
Manny.
center punch it very well. You know, he said he looks a little disappointed. But right now, slot number 1, Jack Smith. You know, in his 3rd event this year, rookie. But, you know, he hits with the best hitters on the planet. He practices at one-stop power shop. He's hitting with, you know, guys like Kyle and you know, Perriman's not too far away from there. And you got No Walks there all the time. Landon Gentry's there all the time. Bobby Ray. I mean, it's a good stable of hitters.
The long drive school.
Yeah. It's if you haven't been out, you know, to Newton Grove, North Carolina, it is, you know, it's a great place to be. A lot of fun. When you're going out there, you're doing one thing. You're hitting golf balls.
That's it.
With
and
a driver,
that is it.
And you're going to do it a lot.
You want to pick up groceries before you head that way, too. Kyle Berkshire, 411.
Trying to take a peek at the wind. There's not much wind. It's still right to left. Looked, you know, let's say Kyle just turns one over a little bit. He's going to see a significant jump in yardages. So, but right now, 226 ball from Kyle. Taking a peek at Jack. Look at Jack, 225.4.
I mean,
that
he's hit
dude's
kind
fast.
of this similar shot time and time again. He's got this last ball here. I would love to see him aim a little bit more on that right side and let the ball turn over naturally as it's doing currently.
So look at that number, 225.4 from Jack Smith. Kyle at 160 club speed, 224.6. Look at the carry distance, 420 from Kyle.
There we go. Little open club face there from Jack Smith. I don't know if that one's going to stay in.
Yeah, that's, you know, one thing that Jack needs to focus on is really just getting balls in play. But look at the carry distance on Jack Smith, 426. Yikes. These balls are going a long, long way out here in Utah. Berkshire takes down the set at 411. And I say, man, he gets in. He sneaks in with one ball, but that was a rough set there for the boys. You know, they only hit 3 out of 24 in.
The best long hitters in the world have come for a chance to call themselves a world champion. It's all about power. It's all about accuracy. It's all about guts. Everyone chased the championship belt. World championship.
And we're back, Group 2, about to get started on set number 3. We've seen some really far balls fly.
To be expected. I
Yeah.
mean, we talked about it the pregame that I changed so quickly, you know, after my interview with Tyson. But I expected 440s and 450s. This grid is notorious for giving up some, you know, big drives, and that's what you guys want to see on here.
And we're creeping on the 450s. We got wind just picked up here, and look at the pros knowing that they need to get their shot off fast for this.
Matt Stubs in slot 1, who's flown 412 trillion miles the last, like, 5 days. I mean, the fact that I can guarantee he doesn't even know what time zone he's on right now.
If his status is not, like, the highest, I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, man.
It's got to be.
Between him and Borgmeyer, they're definitely flying the most.
Oh,
for sure.
Any opportunity, and that's what I love to see from people that are just starting in the game. Any opportunity, Matt's going to be there to hit on a grid and compete and get as many reps as he possibly can. Jack Smith out the gate with 424. what a great start coming after that OB set.
Yeah, Jack struggled. First 2 sets, he's got 1 ball in play, but that 1 ball he put in play was 437 yards, so he's at 424 right now. He's
Shawn,
averaging 430 and a half.
Yeah.
When he puts the ball in play.
Rough. Shawn Johnson. Oh, man, I thought that one was straight down the middle because he's been putting up some good balls as well.
Wow. When you just saw that side profile from Jack Smith, those hands are lightning fast. He's really, really fast.
443.
Yep.
All right, we're going to key in on Jack right here.
I'm 3x slow-mo on this boy right here. Boom.
Boom.
He's a threat. I said I'm really impressed with him, and it just comes down to, for being critical, I know he's a rookie, but he doesn't act like one. He's just got to hit more balls in play. I like seeing the first 2 balls in at 420 plus. 443 right now. 444.
Wow. Looking for the other guys to get a ball in play here. That wind is shifting a little bit more than it has today, so that is playing a factor. There we go. We've got some balls on the scoreboard now at 416, 438.
Oh, yeah. Stubs still working on a number here. He's 0 for his first 4. I'm trying to get a nice little slow-mo here of Jack Smith, a.k.a. Trent Scruggs' younger brother. Or actually older brother, because Trent's still 17.
Whew. If he balances there on that last shot, just kind of stays in that swing, that's what I've seen the difference of the OBs and the ones that have been in play.
Yeah. So it was so funny when I was drawing a blank on Trent Scruggs. We always call each other, it doesn't matter who it is, he calls everybody Craig. Like, top flight security of the world, Craig. So, I was just going to call him Craig. And it's not, but Jack Smith.
He would have known.
Oh, no, I know. But still,
it
was just, for me to not, I've known Trent for what, 12 years?
Yeah.
Just complete blank. I can't believe that happened.
It'd be great to see him back out
here.
Oh,
yeah, he's hilarious. That guy's so funny and a really good golfer as well. But Jack Smith, 444. Shawn Johnson at 438. Lucas Weichel at 416. Lucas has got, some swings on that body. He hit yesterday. I think he hit six or 7 sets.
Okay.
And ended up qualifying for the World Championships.
Yep, he did. So. Jack Smith, every single ball that he hit was 400 or more.
Yep. So
that
right now,
his
average distance is probably about 430. At 400, ruined him. It dropped drastically. But, yeah, he's got 4 balls in play right now, all over 400 yards. But really impressed with Jack Smith.
The more balls that he hits in play, the more opportunity he has to take a win at any point. Now, keying in, got Jeremy here in the 4th slot. I love watching his swing.
Yep, Nowak's got a good one, and another one where every time I post Nowak on Lawn Drivers, it always gets, the comments rolling. So, but, Jeremy's a pro's pro, great dude, works really, really hard on his craft.
All right, grid is clear.
Nowak is a really good follow on Instagram. Does baseball impressions, golf impressions, speaks 18 different languages. I could be wrong on that one, but he looks like a guy that could, speak 18 languages. I always say baseball player, smartest guys on the planet.
Intelligent.
Yeah. Graduated from Harvard. Could be wrong on that one. But you know what?
Grad school at Princeton.
Yeah, Elon gives us the stats, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to go off the stats that were given to us. We get these emails, several days out, and I sit here for hours upon hours studying what he writes.
He always studies. Look at this shot by Bryce Verplank right now. 214, 397 yards carry. I'm excited to see where that's going to end because I feel like, 414, Jeremy Nowak, and at 400.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, Nowak known as the swing man. Look at that strong baseball background, playing in the Baltimore Oriole organization. I played against the Orioles a bunch in minor league baseball. Oh, yeah. Frederick Keys. That was where I think he ended his career was in Frederick, and they played in Bowie, Delmarva. But, yeah, the Orioles, we hung out. Spring training, our complex, their minor league complex was in Sarasota, so we always got to see those boys out.
Yeah.
So I would always hang out with the Oriole players, and I would tell them, like, hey, listen.
Were you in Tampa?
We were in Bradenton. So
y'all are in Bradenton, that's right there.
But we would, tell them, we'll hang out. But when I'm facing you, I'm going to try to strike you out. So we always try to take food off each other's plate, the hitters versus the pitchers.
What's the name of the guy? I just blanked on his name. He's like the best baseball player right now, tall.
Shohei Ohtani?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was watching him against the Braves.
That guy's a
That
stud.
guy is, talk about athlete. I would love to see him hit a long drive.
Essentially, in long drive, he's the fastest guy on the planet, left-handed and right-handed type of deal. I mean, if you have to, like, compare it to long drive, like,
Insane.
the fact that, like, his ERA is insane. Like more about opponent's batting average, and then he just hit 40 home runs not too long ago. So, but yeah, Shohei Ohtani is the definition of a unicorn. So,
Without a doubt.
unicorns don't exist, but he exists.
The other unicorn. What is it, John Boy? Do you watch I was watching the breakdown of the fight that happened not long ago.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
Well, that was it was funny because Ramirez was just throwing haymakers, and he caught
him
Mr.
good.
Anderson on the button,
And he was still trying to get back at it, but.
Well, speaking of ball players, one of my best friends, I don't think Batista's gonna come in, but yeah, he's known for that odor, Batista. The Beebs, as we call him, he got hit on the chin out in Texas, but that home run that he hit was unbelievable in Toronto, and they are acknowledging his greatness in Toronto today.
Looking to compete on the World Long Drive Tour for the largest prize purses in World Long Drive history? Pro and amateur members can compete in their respective divisions all summer long as World Long Drive kicks off their 2023 tour. Visit worldlongdrive.com to become a member and view all the registration dates for upcoming tour events.
Speaking of languages, Elon giving us a countdown in many different languages over here.
Yeah, Elon is the man. I mean, he needs more TV time than we do.
He does.
23-year-old. He's calling the boss. He sends us those emails, and I reply back immediately.
You're quick on it.
I don't want to be on his bad side.
No, not at all.
And I said that I spend hours upon hours. He said seconds. I spend 2-3 seconds a day on the notes.
That's all when you have a photographic memory.
Exactly.
There you go.
Kyle Berkshire now is in slot number 3, but look at these numbers that Kyle's putting up, consistently sitting right around 160 miles per hour. That is a miss hit for Kyle at 218. But Damon Dooley, Matt Thorman just putting on an absolute clinic, putting balls in play. I think he's 11 for 12.
Yeah.
Good start. Got Scott Littlefield in slot number 4.
I like this one by Kyle.
Yep.
Great start by Scott.
I mean, let's just look at that profile. Kyle, about a 27-yard draw, 415 carry, 165 feet in the air. That is just perfect. That is perfect on this grid. I love those numbers. Let's see what that comes back at. I say he's going to be 435. What do you take? Over, under 435?
Under.
Under? Let's look at the win. I feel like he rode out that win too. That was similar profile to Martin's ball, 227.9 from Kyle. Starting to step on the gas. A lot of movement, but look at the carry, 438.
438 is wild.
Yeah, I mean, Jack
Scott Littlefield is over here finding the center.
He said Kyle's ball went OB.
Yeah.
And once again, if you guys are looking on the shot tracer right now from Flight Scope, I mean, it is a guesstimate. If it's just off by just a little bit, that happened a couple times out in Connecticut.
Yeah.
So yeah, those. Yeah.
Scott Littlefield building here. I liked his second ball a lot more than this third one, but the third one at 421, excellent. Like you said, he's always in it.
It looks like Kyle likes his golf ball, 225.
Oh, I love that pose right there. That's the Kyle, I hit it good. I need to see what this number's going to be.
I feel like one of those balls. Yeah, I feel like one of those balls. Well, what did I say, 437?
437.
Okay, I was right.
Yeah, no, you weren't.
Barely.
Wrong ball.
You know what? We talk about that all the time. What color golf balls are you in? Orange? Because sometimes we are hitting yellow golf balls on the range. So like you'll see sometimes yellow golf balls like they might change the numbers just because we are hitting those yellow range balls. So, but Kyle at 438.
Ooh, that one's.
And what I like to see right now is the fact that there's no look at his demeanor and his body. Like he's not going to that rib. He's not touching it. He's not stretching it. He's not doing any of that stuff. He just looks super calm and composed. And Kyle has 3 straight wins. He did it before. I'm curious to see if he goes out and hits again because right now he's at 600 points.
Is it about maintenance? Does he still want to keep hitting, or does he want to save some pitches on that body? You know?
Yeah, we'll see here.
But right now, it doesn't look like Kyle. You know, from knowing him, I don't think he has a pitch count. I think he feels really good, and you can tell by the numbers that he's.
Oh
putting
yeah,
up.
he's going to keep going because he continues to build.
Yep.
Kyle has probably, even if you add the women's division, the most beautiful hair on tour.
It's close.
It's going to be
Jacob
hard
Galladay.
with Jacob Galladay.
Galladay's close.
What sponsorships would be best with Kyle? Because I see a Head and Shoulders.
I reached out to Pantene Pro V Head and
Oh,
Shoulders
that's a good
for
one.
him on his behalf. Bedhead, or
Yeah.
was it TG by Bedhead or something like that? And like Pantene Pro V like gave us like a novel, like a five paragraph novel of why they don't sponsor guys. It reminds me of Barstool Sports and Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
Jack's Pizza. That was
yes.
that was the greatest review of all time. He goes, Jack, 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 Jack. He's like, no bias, and he's just, whatever, just, every profanity known to man. He's like, I'm going to be honest because I'm an honest guy. And he goes and he gives it a .08, and Jack's Pizza, like, you just had to see the comments of all the pizzas that they had on Instagram just getting trashed.
Man.
That was so funny. But Pantene Pro V gave me a long-winded reason why.
What's the commercial with the guy with the hair that's riding on the horse?
I don't know.
Is that Old Spice or
I have
something?
no idea. Oh, Old Spice.
Yeah. That's a good one too. For
Yeah,
him.
it's pretty funny.
All right, we're keying in on Ryan Reevesback in this group, hometown hitter.
Yeah, he takes a second or better. He's in. He's at 407. Obviously, this is his home range. He is accustomed to hitting on this grid, and it's nice to see Mr. Reevesback putting balls in play on his home turf. Matt Nicole, 209.4. Matt Nicole, really, really good hitter. He ended up winning Player of the Year in 2016 and possibly 17, or Maurice maybe won it in 2017 for the LDET, like Long Drive European Tour. But Matt Nicole from the UK in slot number 1, now lives in San Diego. He coaches, and just a really, really good hitter. This is a good group of hitters right now.
It is. I need to figure out what's in the water over there in the UK because these guys come over and dominate.
Yep. Well, Laundry 2017. Thanks to Elon giving us this fresh off the press.
It's still hot. Be
Still
careful.
hot. Wow. Yeah, he's a personal coach. Yeah, 4 World Championship appearances. Won the PLDA Regional Finals in Utah. He won it last year too. It says 2021, but that Elon, that's a
Close enough.
2022. But like I said, that's just knowing the photographic memory.
Yeah.
Because I had
You
him
just
in the
needed
booth.
2 seconds.
I had him in the booth last year right after he ended up qualifying. But Nicole's a great hitter in slot number 1. Doesn't have a number on the board as of yet, but I do feel like ball number 1
There it
stayed in
is.
play. Reevesback still in the lead at 407. Landon Gentry hitting the slinger.
395.
399. Look at Gentry just putting up some nice consistent numbers here in slot number 4. 392, 396, 399.
He's been out here. He's a vet. He knows what to do to make it to the next round.
And it's a good slot for Gentry too. He's going to hit your prototypical ball flight of right to left. And this, I know this sets up well for him. Matt Nicole takes second place right now at 404. Reevesback still in the lead at 407.
Ooh, that one sounded good by Landon.
Ooh, Lynn Gentry likes it. Is this one going to
With
stay
the
in play? He
step
likes
off.
it off. It's very similar to Bobby Ray on that last ball. Spun it just a little bit, but it does say it carried 398. There's a lot of movement right to left. That was 48 yards of movement right to left.
We'll
but
see if that
he
one
coulda-
stays in.
He could have rode that win, though. And if he did, that's going to be a big number from Landon Gentry. I wouldn't be surprised seeing a 415 ball. .416. Ugh.
This man needs no introduction, right? You are decorated in this sport.
Old man.
Do you feel like you have to keep up with the youngins? Have you changed
Yes.
any equipment? Have you changed any
I've changed my
techniques?
workout routine to, I'm doing a lot more endurance.
Okay.
Because I feel like, especially the World Championships last couple of years, I've run out of gas. And, day 3, day 4. So I really want to, throughout the year, pace myself and kind of build. So I've changed the way I train, is one thing.
I was way off with my yardages on Landon Gentry's
Way
last ball.
off.
Way off. I said 415. He hit it 416 and took down the set. So that puts Landon Gentry at 300 points after 3 sets. So big ball
Moving
for Mr.
into the top
Pounds.
8.
Mr. Pounds It. In slot number 4 goes 416 on that last ball. Keying in on Bryce Verplank. Mr. Verplank is in slot number 4 right now.
He's in slot number 4.
He
and
deserves a 2X or 3X slow-mo.
he is also in Sam Judah's shirt.
Yes, he is. They are currently wearing the same shirt, but they are not the same shirts. Sam Judah's probably needs a large, but he put on a small.
In a medium.
Yep. Here we go.
Yeah, Bryce is definitely one to look for in this group.
I like his
also
trigger
Scott.
right there. Leans into that right foot or left foot a little bit, similar like Martin does, but Martin has a little bit more movement with that left foot, but he leans into that left foot and just really sits into that right heel and that right hip and has really good sequencing. Bryce Verplank in slot number 4.
So Bryce, we had Andrew Eigner in the booth. We're going to see Ryan Gregnall later today. Is this the season of the stash?
Yeah, the stash is looking good. Sam Judah, shaved last night and has a good stash. I mean, it's like the playoff beard. What are they going to do here?
Yeah.
The playoffs start in a couple weeks in Tennessee.
TV rounds. Make sure you guys tune in.
The big ball here from Verplank. This is ball number 4. That last ball looked really good for him. That must have gone OB. Look at that little cut here.
Ooh, I like
Not
this
too much movement left to right from Bryce. Always going to be in and around 218 to 220.
423 carry.
Yep. Big ball here. Did that one stay in play? Verplank fighting slightly a little bit of a crosswind right to left. This is a west to east grid. Right now the wind is coming from the south. Minimal, but it definitely benefits a little bit of a draw.
And he's got that large grip on there, which is you'll see a lot of the other players have helping out to turn over. But look at that, 445 on that ball.
Verplank in the lead at 445. Looking good. Verplank sitting at 400 points. This would put him at 600, which would safely put him into day number 2. The gentleman who won out in Port Rowan, Canada, Ontario. Is it Ontario or Ontario? Anybody from the great land of Canada?
It's Canada.
I would say Ontario.
Ontario. Let me listen to.
It just sounds, super sophisticated,
Ontario.
like Target, like Target, Target.
Yeah.
Ontario.
Ontario. Roll the R a
Now
bit.
it sounds like Mario. Mario.
Ontario. Bryce Verplank.
Ooh, a couple
last
of
ball at
rockets there.
441, but it's going to take the lead at 445. Also has a 404. That's a great set. Like, I'm looking at that set. That's pretty strong right there.
We're seeing some monster numbers right now.
We
Verplank
are.
at 445. Smith at 444. Shawn Johnson 444. Berkshire 438. Everybody's, besides a couple guys, are well
All the
over 400 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a really strong tournament. We've got a strong field. It's always great to see Kyle back. Shawn Johnson is going to be here in the 4th slot. I'm excited to see him this close because he's been hitting it really well.
Yeah, I am missing the visor. I feel like that's his, but you know what? This trucker hat looks good for him.
Same.
I know we're in the booth, but it's time to get a 3X slow-mo once
this
the
trucker
camera's
hat
off.
might be the
I like
the
it, though.
switch up.
I like it. I like it.
The hair flowing in the back.
Because he gets a win, he's got to go with the trucker hat. He can't use the visor anymore.
No.
Even Verplank rocks the visor from time to time.
Sam Judah as well.
Yeah. Matt Thorman. Oh, there he is. I'm like, did he not show up?
Maybe Shawn's trying to separate himself.
Matt Thorman definitely looks good to have the longest set and also most balls in play. So he's in slot number 1, putting on a clinic. And he kind of got unlucky that first set. He went 393 and he took 4th. So, all right. Shawn Johnson with a big league trucker hat. I mean, big league trucker hat. I mean, his beard's looking good. Yeah, he's got the hair flowing.
I mean,
he might even be
guy
best
came
dressed.
out as a whole new man.
Looks like he just came out of a semi truck, drove about 10,000 miles, and yes, sir.
All the way.
He took off from Connecticut. He's got fresh legs now.
Hasn't stopped since.
Let me take a peek. Oh, that's worthy. He hit it right down the middle. All right, I like Shawn Johnson. That'll go up on Lawn Drivers as well.
214.
That was a good ball.
405 carry.
Let's take a peek at the notes on Shawn Johnson. He is currently 10th in the world. He did not compete in Portland, Connecticut.
He didn't. And this says a lot about if you miss one tournament,
Yeah.
you miss one tournament, didn't compete, moves down 2 spots, you always have someone that's ready to move up.
Yep. Yeah. So he's got 2 semifinals appearances in Memphis and in Mesquite. And he said you look at his first one, he struggled in Mesquite. Sound, he makes a final 16, but he's the type of guy that you're going to see in final 8s
consistently
all the time.
Yeah.
And even then, like when we talked about like the round robin formats and the round of 16, like he's a guy that I think he would probably rather have that round robin format in the round of 16 because Shawn's just tough. He's tough. He wins a lot of sets, and he's plenty fast enough and a guy that you'll see around 220. But really impressed with Bryce Verplank again today. He is just consistently sitting at 218 to 220, hitting that same profile shot, a little bit of a left to right cut, and him and Kyle right now are in the lead, and Kyle hasn't even hit yet. So Kyle, making his comeback or his one-off tournament, what have you, and has 3 wins currently. So interested to see what changes he's going to make, if any, going into round number 4. So we'll have Kyle in slot number 4.
Last ball from Shawn. He's got to get this one in. Landon Gentry with the 412.
So right now, Shawn Johnson just needs to hit a ball and play because he's already at 500 points.
I don't think he likes it.
That one looks like it's drifting out, a little bit of a pull left.
Yeah, moving a bit there, but as we come up on that 5th set, he's still got plenty of time to continue to make it. And we'll be back right after this.
So what is your longest drive? You didn't even have the last season.
So my longest drive indoors, I think 422, but in competition, I had one this morning, 381. I just graduated college.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So what are you looking forward to for this season?
Definitely looking forward to experience, mainly just enjoy my time learning the sport and trying to get better and just using the competitive atmosphere and spirit to make me a better person too. So.
Oh, I love that.
Jack Smith making his 3rd appearance this year on tour. The rookie. He's put up some big numbers already today. He's got 4 out of 24, or 4 out of 18 balls in play. All of them have been over 400 yards, and his miss hit was 400. But I've seen some big ball speed numbers out of Jack Smith so far. And the high 220s as well. He went 228.5 in Connecticut. Lightning fast hands. But right now, Jack Smith is sitting at 400 points. He won the first set, went OB the second, won the third. So a premium of hitting golf balls in play, something that Ryan Reevesback is doing right now. And that ball from Ryan Reevesback is going to put him in the round of 32. He will have, at the absolute worst, for 525 points. So there's only one guy safely in, after 4 sets. I mean, Kyle's in. Kyle's got 600 points. Verplank's at 600 as well. So you'll see Verplank, Ryan Reevesback, and Kyle Berkshire. Even though Shawn Johnson went OB, I think he's safely in. Landon Gentry with another win is going to be safely in. So pounds it. This grid really sets up good for Landon Gentry as well.
It does.
This is a good grid for him. We talked about it yesterday, him and I. He's been around. His first event ever was in 2005. His first real full year in long drive is in 2009. So,
wow.
I mean, Landon, probably of all the guys that are hitting, has been around the longest since 2009. So this is his 15th year in the sport of long drive.
Still competing and
absolutely
making it round after round. He sits currently, let's see here.
Where is Landon? We're looking at our notes here. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Yeah, he missed out a couple events, and now is now 40th in the world. But Landon missed 2 events this year, so but that that he could jump up big time, with the final 16.
He said Landon won a couple. He won an event, PLDA event, 2021. It was at Bobby Peterson's.
All right.
Maybe it was 2020. But yeah, we had 4 events in 2020 after everything, practically the world shut down. So that was actually really fun, just going out and competing, and we're all hanging out and got some 4 events in. And 2020 they ended up having a national championship that Kyle ended up winning.
Yep.
In Memphis.
This and it could only be national because not a lot of the guys from overseas.
Yeah, a lot of guys couldn't make it over.
Gals could make it over. Jack Smith taking it so far. Still waiting for some numbers from Ryan at 416. That's with 1 ball in. Like we said over and over again, I think the biggest thing for him to elevate and move up is just consistency.
Yeah, he's got
himself to hit some of those big numbers in the grid.
3 sets where he's only hit 2 out of 18 balls in play, but those balls were
Ryan,
the longest ones.
Sneaking up, waiting for the final ball.
Yeah. All right, so Jack Smith is going to have 600 points. So he's in. Reevesback's going to be in at 600. So guys that we can say even before the 5th round, you got Berkshire playing, Ryan Reevesback, Jack Smith are in. I would say Shawn Johnson and Landon Gentry, they're in. Jeremy Nowak's at 350. Scott Littlefield's at 325.
Look at that gap, 500 to 350.
Yeah, it's pretty top-heavy right now.
We've got Kyle in the 4th slot. Jeremy's going to be there in the 3rd. This is going to be a big set for him.
Yeah, Matt Nicole and Lucas Weichel, if one of those guys wins, they would have.
Another big, huge set for these 2 guys as well.
Nowak's got to hit some balls in play. He's looking, he actually looks really good at 350. 375 got in last set. Bobby Ray on the last ball.
Oh, man.
He needed it, win the set, which he did, and 350 would have got in.
Yeah, he needed to win or come in second.
Very rarely do you see 350s get in.
Then last ball comes in. He plays second. That was a really great shot that he had.
All right, Mr. Berkshire, an absolute just laser, no movement.
No movement.
3-yard cut. 3-yard cut.
411. As you see, the wind's picking up just a little bit right now.
We're going to go 3x slow-mo on Mr. Berkshire. You will see this on
435.
And right now, what I like to see with Kyle right now is that even though he's swinging really fast, he's almost a little bit past parallel, which he hasn't had in a long time. His backswing looked a lot shorter, without having.
Which says a lot to his injury, right?
As they've worked on it, his range of motion is significantly.
When you're able
I like
to
that swing right there. He likes it a lot.
Woo!
Kyle likes that last one. Let's see here.
He even gave us a toe tap on that one.
Oof.
424 carry.
He likes it, and look at the height, 190, 424, no movement. Kyle's hitting it laser straight right now. That was a 4-yard cut, 444 yards. So Borgmeyer's still in the lead. So look at how many guys are just flirting. 444, 445, 444, 444.
That is the number of the day so far.
And the difference, like I said, Borgmeyer rode that win, hit a nice draw. He was about 225 ball speed. So, but yeah, what I like from Kyle is the fact that there is no movement on that golf ball. Those last 2 shots, they were dead straight. Kyle looks healthy, and as expected, 225, 226, 227 ball speed.
So as we said, this is a big set for Matt Nicole and Lucas Weichel. So we're at 303 and 395 right now.
Yep. That's it from Mr. Berkshire here. But yeah, Lucas Weichel is at 225. So he needs to at least try to take second place to give him a better chance to get in. I mean, he'll still have some points on the board. So if Lucas Weichel wins the next set, he could potentially have 475 points. So, Nowak is sitting at 350.
We got a club twirl and a little kick from Kyle right there.
Mr. Berkshire, 2-time world champ, world #1 for 4 years, is settled in. Yeah, I mean, it was the performance that he put on in the round robins in Denver and Memphis it was ridiculous. I mean, he was dialed in, and we've said it on the pregame show. And he gets to these heads-up matches. He's got to do what he's doing right now. There's no movement on that golf ball. Just put numbers on the board. And, we're seeing Kyle just cruise right now. Hitting it well.
2019 to now, how have you improved? What have you been working on training to get to where we are today?
So, I mean, I have the most unique swing in the sport. It was such a different angle. So it wasn't only just learning how to make the ball go far, it was a lot of learning about how I can maximize my movements. And I was very committed to doing my step swing from the start. That's what kind of broke me in the social media part of it. So that's what I committed. It's fun for me to have my own style.
And that he does, has his own style, but Kyle Berkshire taking the win at 4.44 on that one.
3 out of 6 in play. What I liked was just the consistency in the ball flight. 180, 190 in the air, 3 4-yard cuts.
Yep, all over 420
essentially dead
yards.
straight.
And we are about to start our final set for Group 2. We're about to see who's confirmed, but we can kind of tell you.
Yeah, Kyle Berkshire, Bryce are playing Jack Smith, Ryan Reevesback, Shawn Johnson, Landon Gentry. They are in. I mean, technically they're not, but I would say they're. But technically they aren't, and they aren't, or they are. But yeah, we're gonna see. Yeah. So 500 is not in as of right now. So Shawn Johnson and Landon Gentry have orange marks. So they advance with 3rd place, maybe less. You know what? I kind of like these suggestions here. I'm gonna take a picture of that.
Here they go. So this is a big set for Lucas.
Yeah. So if Lucas Weichel wins this set, he would have 525 points. Big set here, slot number 4. And he's the fastest. He is the fastest guy on this tee box currently. But yeah, I said I'm really impressed with Matt Dorman hitting a lot of balls in play. Lucas Weichel qualified for the World Championships yesterday, riding out that wind.
And he's got a great group of people behind him cheering him on. So I feel like he's got a lot of family and friends here this weekend.
Yeah, he's probably, he's probably maybe apply a little pressure to himself right now, knowing that if he wins, he's in. So Thorman with the ball. This one looks like it's flirting down that left side.
That's the hard part of knowing where you're at. We saw that a little bit with Bobby Ray. He knew where he was at. He's a little quick at first.
Yep.
Settled in finally. Hit that last ball to advance.
Yeah, Bobby Ray was trying to hit a pole. He was aiming, 20 yards. It looked like he was aiming 20 yards OB right just to try to hit that pole, and he finally got that toe to shut, at impact because he was open at impact because he kept blocking him out in the same spot. But he got that face to shut and ended up getting in at 375. Now Lucas Weichel improving on his set. He's at 415. This is a must win for him, in my opinion. It would put him at 525 and give him a chance to be in the round of 32. Hit a lot of balls yesterday, but hit the ball well, so he's got some experience on this grid. Lucas Weichel in slot number 4, currently in the lead. That would put him at 525 with a win.
That's a great ball right there.
So these guys are down to their last golf balls, and it looks like Lucas is the only one that has a chance of getting in.
Yeah, that ball even going up a yard at 416. It's heating up here. We're 15 minutes from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, weather's perfect right now. Not a cloud in the sky. It's not even that hot. I mean, yesterday it got in the mid 80s maybe, but it didn't seem too hot.
Wind's picking up just a tad.
Yep.
Still consistent with right to left wind. And it looks like Lucas will take the win, which bumps him up. He needed that win a lot.
Yeah, he did. He's at 525 points now. So Jeremy Nowak and Scott Littlefield will now be on the bubble. Jeremy will still be on the inside. Littlefield's on the outside looking in. Littlefield would Littlefield wins, he would have 525 points as well. It's going to be pretty top heavy here.
Think we're going to have a playoff?
Definitely shaping up to have one, for sure. Matt Nicole's at 200, so a win would put him at 400. Matt Stubs wins, he would be at 500. The story of this group is Kyle Berkshire with 4 straight wins. Coming off a oblique, a rib issue. But we said it yesterday, the good thing is nothing tore.
Yeah.
And it was just like a bunch of spaghetti, like his muscles, like in and around that were just a lot of knots. And I know how much time Kyle's put into this rehab process and really focusing on, not hitting a lot of golf balls and like literally having a strategy of rolling out to get to this point. And he looks great. He looks very composed and doesn't look like he's putting out that much energy. So we talked about heart rates. I'd love to know what his heart rate is right now. Like compared to like in the past, like he looks very calm and composed.
And I think, we talk about the importance of the different events, right? We say this is like regular season TV events, is preparing for Worlds, and so you want to make sure that you're healthy for TV and for Worlds. And because of that, Kyle's going to sit out this last set to make sure that he's healthy enough to move on to the next round because he's in at 800.
Yeah, I like I say, if he does hit in that last one, I don't want to see him try to go 230 just to go 230. I want to just stay within yourself, like his like these numbers that he's putting up right now are the numbers that I like seeing, and I honestly like that. It obviously the golf ball is giving him a story back as well. Like he's putting up really good numbers, like at 225, 226.
Consistent too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, this group is going to be a big group for Matt Stubs.
Yeah, Matt Nicole and Matt Stubs are on the outside looking in. If Stubs wins, he would have 500 points. We talked about the amount of miles that he's put on his body, flying literally all over the place the last couple weeks. Him competing in Osaka, Japan came in T5. Naoto Masumi ended up winning up against Taiga Tozawa.
Oh wow.
Yep. Naoto ended up winning out in Canada and in Japan.
Yep. It was good to see him in Canada here for World Long Drive as well.
And you talk about lightning fast hands. Naoto Masumi has got fast hands, really, really fast. And he's not a big guy either. He's probably 5'10", say maybe 185, 190.
Osaka is one of my favorite places. Japan in general.
Never been. I need
so
to go.
Fun.
Need to go.
Beautiful. All right, Matt Stubs on the grid at 330 right now. So Paul and Damon can play spoiler here.
Yeah, they win. They would they would help out Scott Littlefield a lot as well, a ton. So Scott Littlefield is on the outside looking in. Nowak is at 375. Nowak wins. Is he going up? Let's see. Nowak is going up against Scott Littlefield. So we're going to be looking at those heads-up matches right there. But like you said, you got Jack Smith, if he's putting balls in play, he's putting up humongous numbers. So it would be a fight there could be a tie. So just say, well, Stubs now is in the lead. That'll put him at 500 points.
Yeah.
So if just say Jack Smith wins, hit their set, and Jeremy Nowak takes third and Littlefield takes second, Nowak and Littlefield would be in a playoff. Or maybe not. Ooh. Maybe not. No, because Stubs is the one playing spoiler right now.
Yep.
Nowak would have to win. So Stubs would be right now, Stubs is going to be at 500 points.
Final ball for these guys.
What would be crazy if, say Nowak wins or Scott Littlefield wins their set, we would have a playoff at 500 points. We'd have a playoff, those guys at 500 points. Starting to shape up here. Matt Stubs needed a win. He got it.
That he did.
So Stubs is going to have 500 points. So if Littlefield or Nowak win, there's going to be a playoff with three guys, Shawn Johnson and Landon Gentry. Well, they haven't even hit a ball play yet. They haven't hit a ball. What am I talking about?
I feel pretty confident about Shawn and Landon. And they're hitting against.
Yeah.
Landon.
So Stubs could get it bounced. We saw it this year with Zach Holton and Ryan Gregnall, where they had 500 points and got bounced. So it's crazy to say this, but Matt Stubs is not in at 500 points
right now.
And it really truly comes down to Nowak and Littlefield. If they get wins and Gentry and Shawn Johnson hit a ball in play, Stubs would get bounced at 500 points. And 375 last group got in. Bobby Ray got in at 375.
But Jeremy and Scott can't both get a win because they're in the same group.
Yeah, well, no, whoever wins that,
if
they win that, So if say we talk about spoilers, Jack Smith wins, Stubs is in.
And Jack's one of those people, we talk about round robins versus match play, he's great match play.
Yep.
Because he just needs one ball.
Yep. So it's really important for Landon Gentry just to hit a ball and play because Lucas Weichel at 525 is in. So the guys that are in Berkshire, if we're playing Smith, Reevesback, and Weichel, if Shawn Johnson and Landon Gentry hit a ball and play, they're in. So
let's go.
But this is a huge set here for Scott Littlefield because if Scott Littlefield wins, he'd be at 525 points. If Nowak wins, he'd be at 575. So
and
the guy
Scott's in the perfect slot for him.
Yep.
Slot number 4.
Yep.
As we said, that wind's going right to left. Calm down just a little bit right now, but he's been hitting really solid shots. See, furthest ball, 432.
Yep. And like I said, it's crazy, but Stubbs is on the bubble right now. He needs a couple breaks right now. He needs Jack Smith to win. If Jack Smith wins, the field is set.
You know, it's always hard, too, because you knew that you had to win that set. You did
Yep.
that, and you can still get bumped out.
Yep.
But Jack Smith, still looking for his first ball. I thought that was a really solid shot.
All right, so right now, Landon Gentry is in slot number 1. Just needs to put a ball in play to guarantee himself a top 32 spot. We heard a go from Jeremy Nowak.
Jeremy?
So Landon Gentry has a ball in play. So Landon Gentry has just
389 carry.
Gentry's in. He will be in the round of 32. Gentry improves to 400. He is in the lead. We heard a go from Jeremy Nowak. Slot number 2 is Jack Smith. He could play spoiler and knock everybody out. Or
And
not.
it's only one ball for him that he needs to do that on. He's hitting it a little high right now.
Stubbs is just praying that Jack Smith wins this set for sure.
See what that carry is. 413. If that ball stays in, that's it.
So Gentry right now is in the lead, which helps out. So you know what? If Landon Gentry and or Jack Smith win,
yep.
Stubbs is in.
426.
Jack Smith, 426.
Just like that.
So.
But Scott Littlefield, as we said, for this ball of the day, 432. He can still.
Yep.
Comes down to the last ball.
So here we go. Jeremy Nowak has to go 427 or better, and same with Scott Littlefield in order to get into the round of 32. Jack Smith in the lead, 426. Jeremy Nowak, Scott Littlefield down their last ball.
That one's riding.
None of these guys like it.
Body language telling it all right there on that story, but looks like Jack Smith taking the lead is the spoiler at 426.
Congratulations, Matt Stubbs. I mean, that's really impressive. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what time zone he's on right now, let alone what continent he's on.
Literally in Japan last week.
He was in Australia. He went home for a couple days. So that flight from Japan to Australia has got to be, what, like 10 hours?
Yeah.
And then he just flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, and needs a win, gets it. Congrats, Matt Stubbs, man. Good stuff, bro. That's awesome. Good for him.
This final group, everybody, well. All right, we're here, last set, last group. All these guys are in. All these guys are in.
Yeah,
it's
it is. We were just talking about, we're going to go interview Kyle after this set. But yeah, we're going to get Stubbs in the booth, and
he's got to share.
If he doesn't fall asleep, you know, I mean, I don't. Yeah, gonna ask him how many energy drinks he's had, or coffees, what have you. But that, that's a storyline in itself. That was,
I really want to know
impressed.
how many miles. Like I know he's got this totaled up, but
it's nuts. I mean, it's got to be at least 20-something thousand miles
because
within the
even
next.
when he's in the States, he's traveling.
Yeah, I mean, Japan's probably what, like 7,000 miles. I don't know where he flew out. Well, he flew out of New York.
Okay.
Yeah, or Boston. He had to fly in Boston to Japan, and then Japan to Australia. He was there for 48 hours.
And then
Surprised
came
his
back from
parents.
Australia to here.
To here, yeah.
Which is like 19, 20 hours.
Yeah. I remember when we flew out to China, it took me 42 hours to get to Hainan, and then you and I flew from Hainan to Beijing, and we were in there for like 6 hours, and then we flew Dallas.
We got stuck at the airport. We were literally thinking, do we have enough time to go see the Great Wall?
Yeah, I know, but we couldn't find a place to put our golf
stuff,
bags.
yeah.
That was brutal. So we sat in the Beijing airport forever. But at least we got those pods, like or whatever,
Yeah.
the lie flat seats.
I'll definitely say, out of all the people on Long Drive, if you got to be stuck at an airport with somebody, it's Bobby.
Yeah, we have some fun,
He knows his way around. Well, you know your way around an airport.
Yeah, we only fly out of them all the time.
Yeah. Shawn Johnson, 426, as we said earlier. Kyle Berkshire resting, making sure that he stays healthy.
I like that. I do. I really, really do. I just, for me, I'm sitting here like I love his body language, and he didn't go after like his ribs, and just I know Kyle's a competitor. I know he wants to hit in that last group and put up a 230 ball speed and, say make a statement, but he already made his statement.
Yeah.
He won 4 straight sets. He stayed in control of himself. And, here he is. Like I said, he's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants that number 1 back. But he made the right decision by not hitting in this set. And honestly, I was, kind of surprised that he even hit in the 4th set. But that kind of shows you, hey, he's healthy. And what I really liked in that 4th set was his little movement left to right. It was 3-4 yards of movement.
If that. And you can tell he's consulting his doctor, what's best, what's not.
But yeah, Kyle is on a mission. He is laser focused, and he has put a lot of time in to working on that body and getting himself prepared for this event. So, it says for me, I selfishly wanted to just see him debut again in Tennessee. That's just me.
Yeah.
Just these guys are really, really good athletes, and guys like Justin, James, Martin Borgmeyer, and Kyle Berkshire, those guys are few and far between. They only come around, once in a generation.
Right.
And, Kyle's a generational talent that's been world number 1 for 4 years and has 2 world championships. So, but glad to see Mr. Berkshire, do well today. And, Matt Stubs, man, awesome work. We're wrapped up here. Berkshire, Smith, Reevesback for Plank, Gentry, Weichel, Shawn Johnson, Matt Stubs. You'll see them in the round of 32. And we're going to pick
it out. We're going to go take it to the range to talk to Kyle Berkshire as he's back healthy, and kind of take us through his mind of his game plan for today and what's been going on and as he's been rehabbing. Shawn Johnson putting up a show, 441 yards. He's been consistent. 444 earlier today. He stayed in the 400s all event. We're excited to bring Kyle up, and as we said earlier, have Matt Stubs in the booth because he's got a story. This year has been a phenomenal, I'd say, around the world for World Long Drive is the story for Matt Stubs. We're still waiting for Kyle Berkshire. Okay, we got a call back from Bryce or Plank. We thought that was 406, but 416 is his final number. Here is the man, the myth, the legend, walking up right now to talk to Bobby out here on the grid.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 5 sets, here are the top 8 players advancing. In first place, with a tie at 800 points, Kyle Berkshire and Jack Smith. In third place, tied with 700 points, Shawn Johnson, Ryan Reevesback. In fifth place with 650 points, Bryce Verplank. In 6th with 600 points, Landon Gentry. In 7th with 525 points, Lucas Weichel. And the 8th player advancing with 500 points, Matt Stubs. The longest ball of the set, 445 yards, Bryce Verplank. The best set, 2,178 yards, Matt Thorman. And the most balls in the grid, also Matt Thorman at 18.
All right, we're here with the two-time world champ, Mr. Berkshire. How you feeling?
Feeling a lot better than I felt in Canada. So it feels great to be healthy. And last year I had a broken hand at this tournament and didn't compete in it the year before. So it's really nice to be at a beautiful venue like this and be healthy.
I know the last 5 weeks have been tough on you, but today you looked extremely relaxed. Like when you get into these competitions, where do you want your heart rate to be, and where were you today?
I'd say 180 to 190. I was probably a little under that. I was pretty laid back today, probably like 160, 170. Because today's, all you want to do today is just figure the grid out and get some cuts, and get ready for tomorrow.
You looked healthy. How do you feel?
I feel like the longest hitter in the world.
Mr. Berkshire is going to be back here tomorrow in the top 32. We're going to be back at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Mr. Berkshire, good work.